Hey everybody and welcome back. In this video we're going to look at dynamic topology. Before I get started, a huge thank you to everyone for subscribing and hitting that notification icon. That really helps me out. And of course an even bigger thank you to my members and patrons. Your names will be coming across the bottom of the screen at the end of the video. So in the last video I mentioned that you can see this faceted look in our object, and that maybe isn't what we want to see. We want to see it smooth, and we want to be able to put details in that are much smaller than these current shapes. And what we can do is we can look in our right hand side pane here, and we can click on our settings here, and what you can see is a whole bunch of extra options for the tools that we're using. But what there also is an option here called Topo. If we're going to expand that, we're going to just shrink down our brushes tool settings there and our brush settings there, and we can see Topo. What we're actually going to do is we're going to click on our checkbox, and we can adjust the size of our object. We can also turn on smooth shading. So if I hit that, you'll notice that all of a sudden that faceted look has disappeared, and we can see a nice smooth object there. Look at that, very nice. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to change the detail size, and essentially the smaller the size here, the more detail we can put into our object. So I'm going to go down to like 4, and then I'm going to use my draw tool, and I'm actually going to just start drawing in new pieces here, just adjusting that geometry like so. I'm actually set to minus at the moment just so I can shrink stuff, and I'm going to come back into plus, and I'm actually going to increase the radius of my object there, and I'm actually going to add a fair amount here just because I want to adjust the shapes here like so. And if I want to drag anything back in, I can do that too. So what we've got there, nice small brush, going to bring out some detail around the temples like so, add a bit of cheekbone, bit of jaw definition, rotate around and just check that I've not made him look completely stupid, which could be the case. If I just go back into minus, I just want to make this guy look as much like a human being as possible from this angle. So we just want to adjust those cheekbones a little bit. And again, we're not making a human, but we're making something similar to a human, so we've got to just make sure that some of these details are a bit accurate. See, the jaw just looks too square, so we need to pinch that in, make that look more realistic. And it is quite a large chin as well, so let's just bring those in a little bit more, round off that chin a little bit more, just make it look a little bit more human. It's starting to look a bit more female now, but that's fine, that's not a problem. We can come to our elastic deform and just bring that in like that, and that's looking a little bit better, a little bit more human. Not 100% happy with the position of the mouth, so let's just bring that up, and we can just make our radius a little smaller, bring that up and in, bring the tip of the nose up and in as well. Just find that fine balance between all of the things that you want to do. And then once you've got things in roughly the right place, then you can go back to your draw tool, start carving in the shapes that you want to carve in. Use a scrape tool, use the draw tool, and you can just keep on working until you're happy with what you've got. And remember that you can carve in and out any details you want to carve in and out. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to go in with my scrape tool now, bring that in nice and small like that. Here we go. I'm just going to scrape in under the chin, under the lip there. Come back to that fold there like so. Just keep on carving where I want to, and then use my draw tool, smooth it out a bit. If you want to use the smooth tool, just add the detail back in where you want to, and you can just keep tweaking as much as you want. Now obviously I haven't drawn the mouth because mouth is difficult, so you know, you just draw in what you want to draw in there. Maybe I want to give this person's nose a bit more of a bridge, so we can just add that detail in there. Maybe this part of the nose looks a bit thin. That looks a bit too much as well. We can just smooth that out. Check it from above. Use our grab tool and just pinch in any detail where you want it. And just start making this thing look more human, really. Grab the tip of the nose, pull that out, and just try and give us a bit more of a realistic shape. And if you're not happy, change it. Your world, your creatures, your happy accidents. Entirely up to you how you do these things. Like so. Yeah, you know, just keep playing with it. So one of the other tools that's available to us, which can be a little bit taxing on the system, so I would suggest that you change your detail size back up to 12 pixels before you play with it, and that's going to be our cloth tool here. We can just change the radius a bit, and this can do some pretty funky stuff. So let's just zoom in a little bit on our object there, and let's say we want to add some kind of wrinkly effect. So you hold down, click and drag, and then just move backwards and forwards, and that can add a cloth kind of effect, but that also gives it a kind of a weird biological natural flowing look. It doesn't look like it's completely smooth anymore. It's got some real interesting effects happening there, and you can just move it around like it's like you're shaking the cloth. Basically, you've turned this area into being made of cloth. Clicking and dragging, it's like you're pinching the fabric and just shaking it and letting it rattle around, and that can give you some really cool effects as well. Anyway, I think that's about it for this video. If you want to keep experimenting, keep adding that kind of cloth effect to the underside of your fabric, the underside of your creature, give it that wrinkled effect to make it look a little bit more natural, then have a good experiment with that. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, you take real good care of yourselves, guys. Bye-bye.